Strength gains from gaining body fat are temporary. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would chat with you guys and gals a little bit about this today, but a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below, be greatly appreciated. If you're not subscribed or following, please do so. And if you'll be kind enough to drop me a comment down below, particularly if you have your own experience with this, I'd like to hear about it. So if you have ever made strength gains while staying lean, let me know. If you've ever had the experience of, hey, you gained a bunch of fat, then cut and lost all the strength, let's talk about that. And I think what people need to understand with this, they're like, but lots of guys do this. I'm like, it doesn't mean that it's based on reality. And this is what a lot of coaches, and this is even what researchers have found, fat increases things like the squat and the bench press. And people are like, well, yeah, because you're gaining muscle. No. Fat increases the squat and the bench press. Okay? So when we're talking about, the lifts are going up because you're getting fatter, guys are like, well, yeah, so you're gaining muscle faster. No, you're not. And I think this is an important, critical point to remember here. And this is also why maybe sometimes for powerlifting and strength sports, you'll get fatter, so you will have a bigger lift. But the muscles are not getting stronger. And this is, I think, what confuses a lot of people, because they're like, well, progressive overload causes more muscle growth. Yes, to a point. But here's what people are also missing. Progressive tension on the muscle. Okay, so most people get this. If you cut range of motion or you make a lift easier, is it progressive overload at the muscle? No, right? You just made the lift easier. Hopefully something is clicking at this point. If you gain body fat and it gives you squish and leverage advantages at the hardest part of the exercise, is it progressive overload? Just because more weight's sitting in your hands or is on your back? No, the muscles didn't get more tension. You had to add more weight to get the same tension. Okay, so had you not added more weight, the tension would have gone down with the body fat. All right, because the body fat gives you a leverage advantage. And this is, again, a critical part to all this. So what that means is that it makes the lift easier. Right? It's changing your leverages around, giving you squish other stuff. And it's not Jason's opinion. This is the opinion of researchers. And what we find in the studies, a calorie surplus big enough to cause fat gain does not cause any muscle growth. And people say, well, if people just spin their wheel, no. We have study after study after study after study after study on trained lifters where they gained muscle with no body fat increase. Totally lean gains, inexperienced lifters. We have been seeing studies on this for 20 years. We see athletes all over the world, bodybuilders, lifters, who get a little bigger and stronger without gaining fat. It's normal. It happens. Okay? But people are like, but there are ones who choose to do this. It's like they're choosing to do it. It doesn't mean plenty of people aren't making the gains just fine without the fat. And if you look again at the research, there's no extra muscle growth from it. There's just not. Okay, and I'm not telling you to try to be contest bodybuilder lean. That's not what we're saying. But what I'm saying is if you're 12% body fat or whatever, you don't have to gain any body fat to maximize muscle growth. So we come over then to the strength end. The problem with this whole idea is it's temporary. So people are like, okay, yeah, but I mean, I'm getting stronger by gaining bulk. I mean, they're getting too much of the starting strength model. That's what they did. That's how they're able to fuel that progressive overload, that linear progression, because they're just getting people fatter too. Yeah, of course, because the fat's giving you a leverage advantage. It's allowing you to sustain it longer. But then people are like, but that works. So then I'll just cut the body fat. And then they're not grasping, but you're going to lose the strength. Okay, and but they're like, but I'll still be stronger than I would have been without it. No, you actually won't. And that is what I'm saying with this. And this is what, not just me, there are a lot of coaches and a lot of experts and a lot of researchers who are all saying this, and it's just falling on deaf ears on everybody else. They're just not listening and they're not getting it. Okay, let me be clear. The fat is letting you lift more weight. It is like saying, I'm going to put a knee wrap on and get my squat up to 500 pounds and then just take the knee wraps off and build right back up to the 500 pounds without them. Well, that's not going to work. So if you think of the extra body fat just like you do a knee wrap, it's giving a leverage advantage. The muscle's not getting stronger. You're just getting a leverage advantage. It's helping you. Okay? Do we understand this? When you take that leverage advantage off, in this case you diet the fat, you lose the strength gain from it. Because it wasn't strength gain, it was just better levers. Okay? You get a leverage advantage and more squish and other stuff. So here's the problem. People say, but I'll still be stronger than I would have been. No, had you just gained 5 pounds of body weight instead of 20, you would have gained just as much strength as you will after the cut and the fat's gone. Because you're still gaining muscle. So we come back over to, if we know that we can gain muscle without gaining fat, just fine, no problem in the lab, no problem in the real world, no problem with athletes doing it, you would have gained just as much actual muscle strength and size without the fat gain. So your end result, you may be costing yourself progress, because then you have to take time to cut the fat. And this is what people are missing in this conversation. It takes time to trim the fat off. So that extra 15 pounds of fat you gained, instead of just gaining 5 pounds and you gain 20 in that time frame, you have to diet the 15 pounds of fat off. How long does that take? Well, if it's a pound a week, that's 15 weeks. You try to do 2 pounds a week, that's like 8 weeks. You're going to have to spend 8 weeks not back to making gains, losing the fat, just to end up where you would have been had you not done it, assuming you don't lose any muscle. And that's what guys are forgetting. They're like, well, I'll just diet the fat off and rebuild the strength. Well, no. You could, if you're capable of rebuilding the strength, you could have just built it to begin with through muscle. Okay? All you're doing is getting fat for the sake of getting fat. But again, people are like, but the wheel spinning is so slow, because muscle growth is a slow process. Yes. And you're not getting a leverage advantage. So yes, your strength is going up based purely upon muscle growth. Well, if you're not on anabolics or you're not a rank novice, that's a slow process, and that's okay. That's just how it works. But you're not cheating the system by getting fat. You're just getting fat. You're not gaining more muscle. You're not gaining more muscle strength, even though the bar might be going up. And if you're okay with keeping that fat, that works. Like if you say, I'll keep that extra 20 or 30 pounds of fat for the next 10 years and be happy with it, no problem. More power to you. Keep going. If you're not going to be happy keeping it, you've done it for no reason. You've literally done it for nothing. All right, guys, well, that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.